we're getting it all wrong about the NHS, and let me tell you how the Tories are taking advantage of it. The NHS was born out of the ashes of the Second World War, with a promise to care for those that needed care, regardless of income and regardless of cost. And this is important. Why is it important, you may ask? Well, here's a tweet from a Tory MP called John Redwood, and he's saying that nurses should just get more beds to solve the shortage of beds in the NHS. Now, you might think this is just a cynical tweet from a cynical Tory MP, and you're obviously right. But it's a lot more than that for me, because a lot of the commentary on the NHS has recently been about either management, efficiency, or cost. And I don't know about you, I've watched a lot of Dragon's Den in my time. Those are terms that we use when we talk about a business. Let me give you an example. If I asked you right now, how much would you price a childbirth at? You'd look at me like I'm nuts. You'd say, look, what does that have to do with anything? If someone wants childbirth, they get childbirth. We don't think about what number we write down first. And that's exactly what we've got wrong with the NHS. We're talking about cost, we're talking about efficiency. Hello, is anyone there? Are you aware of the fact that we've been living in 12 years of Tory government? Tory being important because these are the bastards that actually want to sell the NHS and hate the very idea of a National Health Service with all their being. They even write books on it. And yet we are sitting here discussing what is wrong with the NHS after these 12 consecutive years of defunding from the Tory government, and sitting here talking about cost and efficiency and management as if that's the problem. And I'm all good with talking about these things once an NHS is properly funded. But until then, we can't neglect the fact that this is the main issue in the NHS. The Tories have starved it of funding, and not only that, have starved the areas around it of funding. Tory austerity didn't just target the NHS through the institution of healthcare. It targeted the NHS through welfare benefits, through closing Sure Start centres, through rising unemployment, right? This makes more people more ill and therefore puts more pressure on the NHS. All of this is a part of what we would call preventative healthcare. The Tories have neglected it completely. And now the conversation is not about preventative healthcare, it's talking about the NHS as a business and how we may have to make some difficult decisions in management or in efficiency. Bollocks. Bollocks. Never forget what NHS is designed for. If you like this kind of content, be sure to check out my last video on how Mick Lynch proved the BBC wrong about pay rises and their link to inflation. Take a look.